Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome today. Again, my name is Ethan Kehrberg. I'm the Sustainability Specialist with the City of Golden Valley, and I'm here today to talk about the Energy Action Plan. So just to get started, we all know that saving energy is a great way to save money, especially in businesses, but also in homes and even in city operations. There are just so many different ways that we can achieve efficiency, whether that be with the lighting that we use in the rooms. We got a bunch of LED light bulbs here today. Thermostat, where we control temperature, the HVAC systems, appliances, insulation in the buildings, and just the operations that we have on a day-to-day basis. And as I'm sure you're all well aware, I know I am. I saw my bill for my house the last few months. Energy prices are just way, way up, and they continue to remain high this winter. And so while that isn't something that we have a lot of control over, we do have control over the ways that we can reduce our demand and improve our efficiency in our homes and businesses. Protecting the environment and saving money are both, important values for the city to push forward. So one way that we are trying to do a better job with energy action, with the emissions that we produce, kind of taking charge on climate change, but also trying to save money for taxpayers and for businesses, was the Energy Action Plan that we, as the city, passed in 2021. It was a big, long development process with Xcel Energy and the Partners in Energy program. We had community stakeholders, businesses, government leaders, community members, all involved in this process. And three of the main kind of takeaway goals that they created in this plan are to reduce energy consumption overall. We just need to get more efficient over time, lower energy costs, and support clean energy. And so in the creating of this plan and doing research about, what energy usage looks like in Golden Valley, there were a few key items that really stuck out. So this slide shows you a pie chart of all the premises in Golden Valley. This is every building, meter, unit in Golden Valley that is using energy. And Golden Valley is an overwhelmingly residential community. We got a lot of single family homes, few multifamily, little tiny sliver there is municipal, that's all the city stuff. And about 10% are businesses, kind of the commercial and industrial sector. However, even though it's such a small segment there, the commercial and industrial sector here overwhelmingly uses the most amount of energy in Golden Valley. So the city has been doing all that we can to get resources in the hands of residents. We got Home Energy Squad, if you've heard of that, doing assessments of homes. People sign up for renewable energy programs. They're, turning lights off in rooms and things like that. But that can only make so much of a difference when we also have other areas that we need to focus on. And so this is the next kind of key area for the city to focus on and support and provide resources for in order to meet these goals of our Energy Action Plan. And just again, kind of hammer the point home, the largest energy costs are also coming from the commercial industrial sector. Obviously, we have a lot of larger industrial sites and some bigger businesses in Golden Valley, but this also just shows how much of an opportunity there is to save money in addition to saving energy and reducing emissions. But luckily there are all sorts of great opportunities out there, and that's what I'm here to kind of tell you a little bit more about. Minnesota Chamber of Commerce has Energy Smart program. CEE has One-Stop Efficiency Shop. RETAP, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a second. That's the Retiree Environmental Technical Assistance Program. A little bit of a mouthful. That's a state-run program, super helpful. And then Xcel Energy, CenterPoint are involved in this, as well as Interchange is another program. So lots of good resources out there that I can put you in contact with. So Minnesota RETAP, Retiree Environmental Technical Assistance Program, was the program that the city actually decided to use when we wanted to do an energy assessment. We were only a tiny little sliver of that pie when it came to energy use, but we're funded by taxpayers. We know that we have some older buildings in operation right now, and we want to save energy and money wherever we can. So we reached out to RETAP and requested a visit, and they did a walkthrough of City Hall. which we used this benchmarking program. So we track our energy use. That's one of the things that I do in my job is just find opportunities for the city to be better, whether that be replacing light bulbs. Something we got coming up thanks to this assessment was replacing our boiler. That's still in operation. It's going to be way, way more efficient. Hopefully keep us a little warmer in the winter too, if the building can get a little cold. But what was so great about this program was that it was just completely free. I mean, it took staff time to, provide some of our energy bills and do the walkthrough with them the day that they came. But they did this comprehensive assessment that included the energy and gas bills. They looked at our waste production streams. They looked at the building plans and the installation that we had, the boiler, just the way that the city was operating with its own kind of behaviors and technology and things like that. So there's this very comprehensive and helpful assessment that they completed for us that pointed out a lot of areas of improvement for us, even though we had been continually reflecting about all the ways that we could continue to do better. Having the experts come out and really do a deep dive into everything that we had going on at the building still identified a few areas of improvement for us. As great as RETAP was, that's just one of the options. Again, they're free, comprehensive assessment. The next one that I also want to call out, this one's a little bit simpler, but also free, very, very easy to sign up, is the CEE One-Stop Efficiency Shop. That's the Center for Energy and Environment. They mainly focus on lighting and HVAC systems, but it's super straightforward, and they actually work with you to help identify rebates for any improvements that you end up doing through that program and assessment. In addition to Minnesota Chamber of Commerce, Energy Smart, also a free assessment auditing tool to help you find energy improvements. And they provide grants and funding assistance for maybe some retrofits or appliances or lighting or anything else that you're hoping to do with your business to save a little money and be a little bit better about your energy use. I just want to call this out too. This is the City of Golden Valley's website. We have an energy resources page for businesses that I highly encourage you all to go check out. We're doing our best to continue updating it with as much information as we have. We have ways to save energy. We talk a little bit about the energy action plan, renewable energy, and a lot of these links and resources are listed there for you to access. This is the next exciting thing that I think is the next step in line. So if any of you do end up doing an energy assessment, or if any of you are leaders in energy, whether that be you're involved in the energy action plan process, the planning process, you're installing EV chargers, you have solar panels on your roof, things like that. Like, we want to, as a city, start to recognize some of these efforts that are going on in the business community. So something that we just recently launched was the Energy Hero Recognition Program for businesses that are doing exactly that. It's all you have to do is just complete an energy assessment to show that you're, putting your best foot forward to kind of audit your own operations, but then fill out this super simple application. I've got a few copies, even if you want to do it today. And we're going to recognize participating businesses. And I can get into a little bit of what that might look like. So we will list all the businesses that have been applied and accepted to this program on the city website, calling them out as leaders in the community. Will be listed in the city newsletter, which gets sent, as you all know, to everyone in the city, all residences, businesses, city employees, things like that. We'll give you some window clings to display on your business if you'd like at your front door. We've got some promotional materials in case you want to put something on your website, social media, whatever. And most importantly, you're going to become an example for us to other businesses, because this is, like we saw before, just a collective effort of everyone involved to save money, to reduce energy, to reduce emissions, and try to meet these goals of the energy action plan. And I know that in this community, being involved in the farmers markets and talking with residents, like, this is something that's important to a lot of people. Like, seeing a business start to get involved in something like this, I would think people would find that attractive, and we're looking for businesses to step up. So main takeaway today is to sign up for an assessment. I can help you with any of that you need, finding the right assessment to complete. If you have trouble with your application, if you're interested in applying for the Energy Hero program, I can help you with any of that. But mostly, I have a lot of resources. There's a lot of great funding coming through too with all these programs, some of the new legislation. it's frankly the best time ever to get involved in some of this, especially with high prices, all these incentives and rebates, and now this drive from the city and the community to make some progress. So thank you. I'm again happy to take any questions or comments at this time. Yeah.
So what's the data that you had?
Yeah.
Stopped in 2019.
Yes.
Did those sectors change at all during COVID? Because I'm assuming that particularly, the household
Right.
consumption went up quite a bit.
Yes.
During the last.
Yeah. So those charts that you saw earlier are from the Energy Action Plan that was passed in 2020 and implemented in 2021. So again, they are a little bit out of date, but we've gotten some new data since then. And we saw a dip during the pandemic in certain sectors. I think mostly business because people weren't in the office and creating things and things like that. But come 2021, a lot of that just surged back up, even above 2019 levels, in some cases. So
Did I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The homeowner energy did back down, or did it stay kind of the same?
Yeah, I would say mostly it stayed the same from 2019 to 2021 with a dip in 2020, regardless of which direction it went for each sector. Yeah.
I'm curious about maybe our surrounding cities and what their efforts have been, and are we in alignment with that, or kind or ahead?
Yeah, we are, I would say, in alignment. I know that St. Louis Park is frequently a leader with a lot of things. They just have a little bit more staff, larger population, some more funding opportunities for them to do programs like this. So I want to say it's them and Minnetonka and Edina that have similar recognition programs and ways for businesses to pursue this funding, whether that be provided through the city or the city helping them find these resources provided by the utilities or other organizations. So we're really just trying to join this collective effort that's happening around the cities. You saw Minnesota Chamber of Commerce is up there. MNCEE is an organization, RETAP. All of these are really starting to get more and more demand. Even on the residential side, we've been pushing Home Energy Squad, which is also run through CEE. And that's kind of the home assessment version of all these business programs. And they are booked out through, I want to say, March or April at this point. There's a lot of demand because people see it on the bills, right? They want to find these opportunities to save money and do what they can to make a difference. Yeah.
You mentioned the cities replacing a boiler.
Yeah.
These older commercial buildings, the big boiler and building that built around the boiler. Do you have to knock out a wall, or is the new boiler small enough they can take it in through a door?
I'm not as involved with that process. That's not a lot of, but so far it's been not very invasive as far as I'm aware. I guess I can't speak to the specifics of what that change is going to look like. But I know a lot of employees and finance and everyone is pretty excited because we did get a newer HVAC system with the pandemic just to get additional air circulation and things like that. But the heating and cooling systems haven't been talking to each other very well. So the new boiler is going to save a ton of money on energy efficiency, but it should also just be a better air circulation system for everyone.
Brian wants to be invited for install.
Yeah. Yeah. In back, yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of notices either on social media or even coming in my email box about solar panels. Now it's free. The government wants to get this. And what is your role there in seeing the use of solar panels? I know who lighting, for the water.
Right. Yeah.
Here, I usually do it for like the city.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to get involved with solar. You can do just the minimum of like buying a subscription to a solar garden or to renewable energy, and that just lets you say that you're using renewable energy without necessarily having to directly install panels. But if you're looking to install panels, there's a lot of rebates that have just been refreshed basically with some of the legislation that's going through, and a lot of that goes through the utility since that they're the ones that you're hooking up to the grid, you're paying the energy bills for. But there are tons of different ways to get involved in that. The city is looking at putting some up on Brookview right now, and we're trying to decide which is the best way to move forward with that, whether that be some sort of solar garden, PPA with a third party, who controls the panels, but then we, gain the benefits from, or if we just want to install the panels ourselves and operate them. But you're right, there's a lot of funding that's coming through and a lot of, incentives to do this right now, because they're cheaper than they've ever been. And I don't know, I can help connect you with those things. The city isn't going to be the one to install them or to give you the rebate on any of that. But I'm the one who's learning and trying to keep track of all these new programs and rebates available to people.
So there's one-stop efficiency stop, would they be able to point anyone in that direction?
Potentially, they focus a little bit more on lighting and HVAC, like I mentioned. But a lot of these programs, their main goal is just to identify areas to, improve efficiency or connect to renewable energy. So if you ask them about it, they will absolutely help you find a way. If not, I can try to help connect you with the resources as well. Yeah.
Solar energy style web page.
Yes.
Go lay it all out for you. Solar makes sense about the variety of the solar garden that they have. That they have on a course. I think you get online and talks about the different types of solar energy, how it works, see if it fits you or not.
Yeah.
Really good resource for solar energy.
Yeah.
Anybody in this room has solar panels on their house? Anybody in this room belong to a solar garden? You.
And do you get credit back then, or?
I pay 2 electric bills. I pay one to the solar farm, and I pay one to Excel. In the spring, I get a credit sell from the solar. It really puts it out.
There's a, and you, of course, are saving money as a result.
The indirect savings, when I signed up for this, because Excel wanted people to go this route, the most my electric bill can increase in a year is 2%. If Excel has gone up more than, I think they went up 4 or 5%. I was able to, so they got it. They capped on 2, so that's the sweet spot.
That's emotional.
Oh, you could see more in school.
Ethan, I have a, Ethan, I have a personal question for you.
Sure.
How did you get from Meadowbrook out to the role that you're in now?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, growing up in Golden Valley, went to Meadowbrook all the way through Hopkins High School, graduated there and went to St. Olaf College down in Northfield, where I majored in environmental studies and political science. And following graduation there, I got involved in the Minnesota Green Corps program, which is an AmeriCorps service year run through the state of Minnesota, to focus on environmental issues. And I just so happened to be placed in Golden Valley, which my hometown, it was just such a perfect fit. And so I worked there for the last year or so, before getting hired in August or September of last year as the new sustainability specialist with the city, a position that was created while I was in Green Corps. So it's been a pretty seamless transition from one thing to the next, but I'm very excited and gracious to be working in such a great community that I know so well. Great. Anything else?
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.